Good afternoon, students. We have discussed about population explosion and reproductive health term. In the same chapter, now we move to birth control methods. What are these actually? The regulation of conception by preventing methods or devices to limit the number of offsprings is called birth control. Birth control means preventive methods. They regulate the conception. They prevent the meeting of sperm and egg by any mean. So there are many birth control methods. They are also called as contraceptive methods or methods of contraception. These methods are divided in three groups. First is temporary method, second type permanent method, third is medical termination of pregnancy and also called induced abortion. First we talk about temporary methods. Why they are temporary? Because they can be reversed at any time or they can be stopped at any time and the couple can bear child after that. That's why they are called temporary methods. Temporary methods also divided in different groups. First is natural method. Among the temporary method, there is one first type, that is natural methods. Natural methods are again three types. First, periodic abstinence, second, coitus interruptus, and third, lactational amenorrhea. Lactational amenorrhea. These three are called natural methods because they do not involve use of any device or any chemical or any hormonal pill or tablets. They do not require such things. That's why they are called natural. Second type of temporary methods are barrier methods. Barrier. They involve use of some devices to prevent the meeting of sperm and ovum. Barrier methods are again divided in two types. One is chemical method, second is mechanical methods. Among the chemical methods, there are some chemicals which are used as spermicide for killing sperms. They may be foam, they may be say tablets, they may be jellies, there may be paste or cream involved in chemical method. These are some examples of chemicals used. Second type of barrier method is mechanical method. Mechanical means they involve some devices. First is condom. That is a physical device that is worn by male or as well as by female and they prevent the meeting of sperm and egg during coitus. Second is diaphragm, cervical caps, vaults. These are also some physical devices which are used in the same way and they prevent fertilization. Third type of mechanical method is IUDs. IUDs means intrauterine devices. Intrauterine devices. These devices are used inside the uterus in the female body and they also prevent the fertilization process. IUDs involve three types. Non-medicated IUDs, example Lips loop. Lips loop is an example of non-medicated IUDs, intrauterine devices. Second type of IUDs are copper releasing IUDs. Copper releasing IUDs, copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. These are three examples of copper releasing IUDs. Frequently, the names of copper releasing IUDs are asked in CBSE examination. So, it is important to keep remember these names. Which names? Copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. By name they are asked. Third type of IUDs are hormone releasing IUDs. Example, Progestarest and LNG20. They are also very important as they asked by name. These examples are given in NCERT book and very important. Now second was barrier method, and third is physiological devices or oral devices. They affect the physiology or release of hormones inside the female body, and the example is oral pills like Saheli. There is a tablet, it is manufactured in India, oral tablets. They have a combination of hormones, progesterone and estrogen, so they also affect the release of ovum and maturation of ova and various steps where they prevent conception or pregnancy or fertilization. Fourth type of methods are fourth type of which methods? Temporary methods. Fourth type of temporary method is injection or implants. These are also hormonal preparations. They are implanted in the under the skin, and they also affect the release of hormones, and finally they affect the conception or pregnancy, and they prevent actually fertilization. Last fifth method is abstinence. Abstinence means preventing coitus, preventing intercourse. Abstinence. These were the temporary methods. Second type is permanent method. Permanent method or also called surgical methods because they involve surgery. These are of two types, vasectomy and tubectomy. Vasectomy in male, the vas deferens, it is part of, it is a duct in male reproductive system, comes out of testes. Vas deferens is cut and tied on both sides so that sperm could not pass out and the male could not cause fertilization, or the male gametes are not reached to the female body during intercourse. Second type of surgical method or permanent method is tubectomy. Tubectomy, it is in female, the oviduct or fallopian tube is cut and tied on both sides so that egg released from ovary could not reach to the the junction where the ampullary junction where fertilization may occur. So no fertilization occur, no conception, no pregnancy, so it is a contraceptive method. So vasectomy and tubectomy are two permanent methods as they are irreversible, they cannot be reversed and their reversal is very difficult. Again surgery is required which may not be successful sometimes. Third type of contraceptive methods are MTP. It is not actually contraceptive method, it is after pregnancy occur, the medical termination is carried out of pregnancy. When it is found that the fetus has some genetic disorders and the child bearing these disorders could not survive, so MTP is carried out in that condition. Now we discuss about these three natural methods because they are also important as their meaning is not very much clear from these terms. So the terms are explained in this way. First, periodic abstinence. It means the couple or the parents, male and female, they avoid or abstain from coitus from day 10 to day 17 of the menstrual cycle when the chances of ovulation are more. It means if the male and female parent do not undergo coitus or intercourse during 10th day to 17th day of menstrual cycle, because we know that on 14th day ovulation may occur. So 2-3 days prior to 14th day and 2-3 days after 14th day, the couple should avoid coitus, or it is called abstain from coitus. It prevents conception or fertilization. Second is coitus interruptus. It involves withdrawal of the penis, male copulatory organ, from the vagina of the female before ejaculation. Just before ejaculation, the male removes the penis from vagina so that semen is not deposited in the vagina and there is no fertilization. Fertilization does not occur. It is called coitus interruptus. It also do not involve any physical devices, so it is called natural method. But it is much riskier and it is not sure method. Third such method, natural method, is lactational amenorrhea. AMENORRRHEA, amenorrhea. The ovulation and menstrual cycle doesn't occur during period of intense lactation following the childbirth, called parturition. You know, childbirth is called parturition. After parturition, for about 6 months, ovulation does not occur and menstrual cycle also does not occur in females. So during that period, the mother also feed the child with her breast milk, and due to this hormones are prevented and ovulation does not occur. So chances of fertilization or conception are very low or almost nil. This is called lactational amenorrhea. Lactational because intense lactation occurs in the female to feed the child with breast milk, colostrum, and it is called lactational amenorrhea because during that period, if the couple undergo coitus, then chances of conception or pregnancy are very low. This is third natural method. Now we discuss a little detail about medical termination of pregnancy, MTP, or induced abortion. Medical termination of pregnancy, MTP. It is also a very important topic. It is done to get rid of unwanted pregnancies. Unwanted pregnancies, when the couple do not want to bear the child and the pregnancy occurs. What are the causes of unwanted pregnancies? It may be caused due to unprotected intercourse. It may be due to failure of contraceptive methods. It may occur due to rape of the female. It may occur where pregnancy could pose threat to the life of the mother or fetus or both. When after diagnosis, when there is some defect, genetic defect is there in the child which may not be alive after birth. So in that case, MTP is carried out and it is legally carried out. MTP was legally accepted in India in 1971 with some restrictions, and restrictions are necessary. Why necessary? Because female feticides in our country are very common. Female feticides. Female child are killed inside the mother's womb after diagnosing or after detecting the sex of the child. MTP are considered safe during first trimester or up to 12 weeks of pregnancy. Means first 3 months of pregnancy, MTP is carried out and it is safe. A majority of MTPs are performed illegally by unqualified quacks, which are not only unsafe but could be fatal too. Means they may be fatal to the child, to the mother also. MTP carried out by unqualified doctors, maybe it's not a qualified person, we cannot call them doctor. Another dangerous trend is the misuse of amniocentesis to determine the sex of the unborn child. There is a process called amniocentesis. Amniocentesis means the sex of the child, unborn baby, is diagnosed by studying its amniotic fluid in early stage of pregnancy, and it is misused to find the to kill the female fetus. It is followed by MTP of the female fetus, and this is totally against what is legal. Means it is illegal. So female feticide is illegal and it is banned, and detection of the sex for finding the the female child, to detecting the female child, is illegal in all the labs. The methods used for MTP are, MTP can be carried out by these methods. One is vacuum aspiration. Second method is infusion of saline solution. Third is scraping of the walls of uterus by a curette. It depends on the medical practitioner to which method they use, depend on the conditions from person to person. Next topic is sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. Sexually transmitted diseases, these are as the name suggests, these are diseases which are spread or transmitted through sexual intercourse with infected person, and they are categorized in 3 different groups. First, bacterial STDs. Example of the name of disease and their causal organism are very, very important. So we need to remember that. Bacterial STDs are 4 diseases given in the book. Syphilis, causal organism is Treponema pallidum. Gonorrhea, Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Chlamydiasis, the causal organism is Chlamydia trachomatis. And Concroid, causal organism is Haemophilus ducreyi. Second group is viral sexually transmitted diseases. They are caused by virus. Fifth name of the disease is genital herpes, caused by herpes simplex virus. And next disease is genital warts, caused by human papilloma virus, HPV in abbreviated form. Seventh is well known, it is AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, caused by HIV virus. And last viral STD is hepatitis B, that is caused by hepatitis virus. Third is protozoan STDs. There is one example given, trichomoniasis, caused by Trichomonas vaginalis. AIDS, genital herpes and hepatitis B, they cannot be cured till now. There are other STDs, they can be cured. The early general symptoms include the following in genital regions. Symptoms of STDs are, common symptoms of the STDs, sexually transmitted disease, are itching in the pubic region, fluid discharge from genital organs, slight pain and swelling in those areas. These diseases are reported to be high among individuals of the age of 15 to 24 years. Means these age group people are more prone to STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. These diseases can be avoided by these means, some of the possible means. First, by avoiding sex with unknown partner or multiple partner, by using condom during coitus every time, by seeking medical help in case of doubt and getting it cured. So this is all about STDs. Now the last topic, or say new topic, is infertility. Infertility in case of human reproductive infertility. The large number of couples are unable to produce child or to bear child in spite unprotected sexual inhabitation. It is called infertility. Means the couple unable to bear child instead of having unprotected sexual intercourse, then it is a type of infertility in them. Male either or female, either of them or both of them may suffer by infertility disorders. It can be diagnosed at infertility clinic, and some of these can be cured through corrective treatments. If corrective treatment is not possible, the couple need special programs. If corrective treatment is not possible in case of infertility, then they maybe undergo some special programs called ARTs, assisted reproduction technologies, ARTs. So we'll discuss some of the ARTs in the later part. First, IVF means in vitro fertilization. In vitro means laboratory in test tubes. Fertilization is carried out outside the female body at laboratory conditions. It is IVF. Second type of ART or assisted reproductive technology is GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. In this method, ovum is collected from donor or the female, introduced into the ampulla of fallopian tube of fertile female, where fertilization takes place by sperm from the male partner. So GIFT means gamete intrafallopian transfer. Gametes are inserted into the fallopian tube. Which gamete? The female gamete, ovum. If the female, the mother, unable to produce ovum or egg, then egg is taken from donor and it is inserted in the fallopian tube. Rest of the body of the female is okay and normal. Next is ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. In the same way, gamete were inserted. Now zygote is formed by IVF, it may be, and it is inserted into in 8 blastomere stage and transferred into fallopian tube of the fertile female. It is called zygote intrafallopian transfer. Fourth is IUT, intrauterine transfer. One more step ahead, uterus. Inside the uterus, if the embryo is transferred, embryo with more than 8 blastomeres, after 2 division, mitotic division, 1 zygote, then 2 celled, then 4 celled and 8 celled. After 3 consecutive division, 8 blastomere stage embryo is transferred into the uterus of the female, fertile female. It is called intrauterine transfer or the IUT. Next, fifth is AI, means artificial insemination. Artificial insemination means semen or the sperms are collected from the husband or a healthy donor. If husband is unable to produce sperms, then collected from a healthy donor, and that may be other male, any other human male, and introduced into the vagina of the fertile female or the mother. This is called artificial insemination. Sixth is ICSI, means intracytoplasmic sperm injection, ICSI. In this case, when the male suffer from oligozoospermia, oligozoospermia means a very few number of sperms are produced in the testis, or azoospermia, these are problems or the infertility problems. Azoospermia means nil sperm are formed, means sperm are not formed. A single sperm is collected from male. If the male produce sperm, very few sperm, then single sperm is collected and injected into the cytoplasm of the egg, female gamete collected from female, and the means male gamete is injected into the female gamete and fertilization is caused. In special conditions, when male and female both produce gametes, but they are unable to get fertilized. In that case, ICSI is used. Sometimes these are some of the 6 techniques or ART programs, IVF. Sometimes more than one program or their combination is used. It depends on the problem with the couple or the infertility, infertility disorder. What kind of problem they having, on that basis one or more these ART programs are selected and they are made into the they are able to bear the child by using assisted reproduction technologies. Okay, this is all about chapter 4. Now you listen the video again and try to understand these terms carefully. Thank you.